Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. I wanted to talk with you tonight, so we're gonna do a couple quick projects that are really easy and show you how quick and fun it can be to crank out some home decor or some gifts, even if you need some kind of last minute gifts to do. So we have two different projects that we're going to work on tonight, and one is it's a wicked, it's a black, kind of a black cat. It could be any color cat that you wanted it to be, but we're going to do a black cat. Um, we've been rewatching Sabrina, and we really love Salem, so I thought it'd be fun to do a black cat for Halloween. And the other project is it says your first breath took hours away, and it has a little cloud. So I thought that'd be really neat to give as a gift, a baby gift to somebody. So those are our two projects, and I have the one of Chalkator's box frames, and this is kind of a wood that's inside of here. So it's a lot of the chalkboard surfaces and other surfaces that we have are black, and so I had to pick something that wasn't black if we want to do a black cat, or else we wouldn't have seen it. So I thought the box frame would be really, really fun. And then I have our 9 by 11 Grayson board here as well for this other project.
Terry says hi. Bev says hi.
Hi Terry. Hi Mom. So let's see. I wanted to start with the First Breath project first, only because the Wicked, I just got my black paste in today, and even though I took the foil off of it so I wouldn't have to do that on the live, I'm worried about getting it on my hands, and I don't, even though I have these board erasers, and I could pretty easily take any black off of this white frame that I might get on it, I thought I'd be proactive. So I'm going to do the black paste project last. Okay, so I have the Grayson board, as I said, and can you put up my website for Chalkator? So if you're not familiar, haven't watched any of my other videos, I am a designer for Chalkator, and what Chalkator is a reusable adhesive transfers, silkscreen transfers, and so this is one of them, and they come in all kinds of neat designs. Unfortunately, at the moment, this one is on back order, and I just saw that before the live, so, but it will come back in. So if you're really interested in it, as something that you'd like to do for gifts for somebody, we can definitely hook you up with this transfer. It just might be a little bit before we can get it. It's a really cute transfer. I think it's a lot of fun, and it would work for a boy or a girl. So let's get started. I'll go ahead and get my transfer out here. And that is my website. It'll take you directly to my online store, so you could look at all the different designs that we do offer and all the surfaces. I'll put this over here for a moment. Okay, and you can probably see these white lines right here, and those are our cut lines. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and just cut on those lines. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and we'll be happy to answer them. If you're watching this live, we'll do it here on the live, and if you're watching a replay, thanks for watching, and feel free to go ahead and post those questions or comments anyway, and we'll get back with you.
Also, please like and share.
Yes, please like and share the page and the video. We really appreciate it. Okay, and since, as I said, these are reusable, you can get about 8 to 15 uses out of them, they say. Some people have gotten more if they take really good care of them. But since they are reusable, we do want to write on the back of our transfer. And I'm going to put First Breath on here. And the reason we do that is because if you're working with multiple transfers and they're similar sizes, you want to not have to, play Tetris or puzzle pieces to figure out which back goes to which transfer. And by writing on them, that kind of helps with that. But it also marks what the correct back side of your carrier sheet is, and that way the glossy side that your transfer is supposed to be stuck to is what you get it stuck to, and not this side, because if you get it stuck to this side, it's more like paper, and you don't want to do that. Okay, and this is our cloud. And these little 2 dots are actually the eyes for the cloud if you wanted to make him awake. I think that's what they are. I'm not going to use those tonight because I like the sleepy cloud. I'm going to put cloud eyes. So we're actually not going to use those, but since I'm labeling this set, I'll go ahead and label those. I'm going to grab our wicked one here and go ahead and write on him since we're writing. Okay. There we go. Okay, got that done. And you can see the back of this is our Grayson board here, 9x12 Grayson, and they put the claws on 2 different sides so you can hang it either vertically or horizontally. So when you're, chalking, if you're using a similar board or something that has your hardware, you want to make sure that whatever hardware you're going to use is at the top of your project, because if I did, this side is the top of my project and then I turned it over, my hardware would be on the wrong side. So you want to make sure and pay attention to that when you're doing your projects. Okay. And tonight I'm going to use white and Cool Breeze for this transfer. And our white is always in stock. This Cool Breeze is actually an in vogue color. So every catalog or quarter Chalk Couture comes out with about 4 different new in vogue colors, and those are only while supplies last. So as soon as those colors are sold out, they are gone and no longer available. So if you ever see one that you like, you definitely want to get it. Okay, so we've got our transfers labeled and we're ready to get started on our project. And the first thing that we want to do is fuzz our transfer. And actually, when I do this is not one of the biggest transfers we have. There's some really large transfers. If you can see this board behind me, back here, there's transfers that are as big as that board. So those are a little bit harder to work with, and I'm still learning, so I haven't worked my way up to that yet. But I do like to pull the carrier sheet away from the transfer rather than pulling the transfer away from the carrier sheet. And that just makes it a little bit easier on me. You don't want these transfers to stick to themselves. So that just makes it a little bit easier. Although it didn't look very easy that time, did it? Okay. So they're very, very sticky, especially if you haven't used them before and they're brand new, and this one is. So we want them to be sticky enough that they stick to our surface and they adhere so that they hold the paste where it's supposed to be. But we don't want them to be so sticky that we can't get them off of our surface or that it pulls off any part of our surface. So it's always, always, always a good idea to fuzz your transfers. There are some occasions that we may run across where you wouldn't necessarily need to, but it's good practice. And you might also notice that I'm pulling the transfer from the top down, You could do it side to side or bottom to top, but you don't want to pull diagonally because this transfer is actually a material and it has a bias, and that does mean it can stretch. And if your transfer stretches, it's going to start rolling up on you and you're not going to like the effect that it has. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time because this one side's still a little sticky. Our chalk paste goes on wet and it dries hard. And the really neat thing is that you can move your hand across it and none of it comes off, but it also comes off with water. So if if I put this on this board and I was using a design for my home decor and I decided I wanted to change it, all I'd have to do is get some water and pull it off. Just a rag and some water would wipe it right off. So I'm trying to decide if I want my cloud at the bottom or the top. So what do you guys think? I'm thinking maybe the bottom. Anybody have any opinions? What do you think we should do?
What is it you're adding in the bottom?
A cloud?
A cloud?
Yeah, he's a little cloud. So we can put him up here like this. Or we can put him down here.
I think I like it on the bottom.
The bottom?
Yeah.
Did anybody else have an opinion?
Nope.
No?
We gotta wait.
Okay, Nesto's executive decision. I think I like the bottom better too. So I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to just try to get it as straight as I can. Now, if you did one and you just really, really liked it, if it's hanging around your house, chances are you're not going to need to worry about making it permanent. But if that's actually really crooked. So I'm going to pull it up. You could always put a finishing spray on this. It's so funny because I think this font is kind of a little bit crooked as well. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now we want to make sure that we don't get any bubbles in our silkscreen area. We don't really care about the teal area because we're not chalking there. That would be a waste of our chalk paste. So we just want to make sure that we have these portions with no bubbles. So I'm going to take my squeegee here and just kind of rub those out. Make sure. Okay. So we'll do the white first. And you always want to stir your chalk paste every time you open it to use it. This white's a little thick, so I'm going to add just a little bit of water. You want it to be about the consistency of a yogurt. That looks pretty good. I need to stop doing that over top of my board because every time I do that I get little dried white pieces on my project. I don't like that. Okay, there we go. And like I said, we're only going to be chalking the portions that are, they look darker here to you, where the silkscreen is, where our design is. So we don't need to worry about covering the rest of the transfer because that's kind of a waste of our supplies here. And a little chalk paste goes a long way. So I'm just going to put The really cool thing is, as long as you're not mixing colors, whatever you put on here, you can wipe off and put back into your bottle. So you don't really have to worry if you put more than you expected on there. And if you're talking, you might want to keep your baby wipes handy. They're a lifesaver. Okay, so there's our paste. And all I'm going to do is just pull that paste across the silk screen like this. And see all that extra white? I just put it right back in there. So you can see I didn't really put that much on here, and I'm still taking quite a bit of it off. This is so fun. It's really addicting. I love it. And it's so easy. It's easy to make home decor. It's easy to make gifts for your friends and family. And you could buy one transfer and multiple surfaces and you're set for Christmas. Just make everybody the same design. Okay, so I got that one done, and it's peel and reveal, guys. Wow, look at that. I love it. Look how cool that is, guys. What do you think? Give me some hearts and thumbs up if you like it.
I love the font.
The font's really cool. Your first breath took hours away. Okay. Wow, look at that. It looks so good. Okay, now cleaning your transfers. Ideally, if you're at home and you're crafting, you're a hobbyist, you're going to take that transfer to your sink and you're just going to rinse it off really good, front and back, get all your paste off of it. No soap, and cool or cold water works best. And as soon as you have it rinsed off, you know, usually I'll wipe the back with a Lysol wipe, and that gets some, and you know, it gets the fibers from the towel off, and it also, you know, helps it stay and become sticky again. You don't want to use baby wipes on the back because the oils in the baby wipe takes away your sticky, and it kind of breaks that stickiness down. So just take it to the sink, and then once you are done doing that, then you would leave it with the sticky side up on a flat surface, and it would dry, and that as soon as it starts to dry, you'll feel that sticky coming back, and then you'll be ready to chalk again. So look at how cool this is. I'm so excited. It looks amazing. Okay. I like the white on the black. It's just so classic.
Jessica Cornick says, just got on. Love the quote.
Hi, Jess. Thanks. I love this one, too. I think it's so fun. It's really neat to have in your child's room, and it's something that they'll remember seeing in there. And I'm getting white paint all over my project again. I don't like that. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this. Anytime you're working, if you're working in layers, or if you're working where your transfer is going to be really close to wet area, you want to dry that. So I'm just going to dry this real quick. Oh, that looks so good. Doesn't take very long. So that's pretty much dry, and I'm not working over top of it or super close to it, so that's good. And another thing you want to remember, if you do use a hair dryer, you want to let your surface return to room temp before you put down your next transfer, because you know that the warmness is not good for the the glue on that transfer. Have a little string on this one. I'll try to get that off.
Jessica Banks has hard eyes.
Aw, thanks, Jessica. It's so cool, isn't it? I'm so addicted to this. Like, I've only done the projects that you guys have seen me do so far, but I've been collecting transfers and fun stuff to work on with you guys, and I think pretty soon I'm going to be doing stuff just on my own too, just because a lot of the other designers are like, I need chalk therapy. I couldn't go through a day without chalking, and now I know what they meant. I mostly got into this just for the discount. I thought if it sells, fine, but I just really love it, and I thought it was a great discount, so that's why I got into it, and I'm gonna fuzz this one more time. I don't know. I'm really happy. It's a great company. It's a fun product. It makes quick and easy projects and fun things that you can do with your friends or in groups. Okay, so the other color, as I said, is Cool Breeze, which I think is fun because this one kind of works if you're giving it to a boy or a girl, or if you don't know, what gender the baby's gonna be. Oh no. I knew my black wasn't open, but I didn't realize I hadn't used my Cool Breeze. Oh, that one's going to open pretty easy. Yay, happy dance. And the really neat thing about our chalk paste and our inks, we also have inks. The inks are permanent and they're heat set, so you would dry them with a blow dryer or air dry them until they're completely dry, and then you would heat set them. So if you did it on fabric, you would want to heat set it with an iron or an easy press. If you did them on a ceramic, then you would heat set them by baking them in the oven. But our inks and our pastes are organic. The colors that are used in the pigments are organic, which I think is really awesome.
So if you're hungry, you can eat some chalk paste.
You might not want to eat the chalk paste, but if you did, you'd probably be okay. Some people really love the smell of it. It has kind of a sweet smell, but it's not toxic, so it's really a great product. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see that? Like right here where there's a little bit darker color. Is that as close as it's going to go?
You can see it. Just to center it. Down.
There we go. See right here? There's just a little bit darker color. So I hadn't used this one before, and that's where the pigments have, they're just kind of separated. But when you give that a stir, usually after the first time, the pigments will be all stirred up, but you want to make sure that every time you use your chalk paste, you're stirring it. Now this consistency is absolutely perfect. I mean, this is beautiful. And this color, I love this color. So it's kind of a minty green, and it works whether it's a boy or a girl, which is really great. Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing we did above, but we're going to do it on our little cloud here. You could, do it however you want to do it. Let your creativity soar. You could do your eyes a different color. Actually, it would have been cool to have black eyes on that one. Well, the chalkboard's black, so probably not a good idea. But you could do, different colors in there. I'm just going to pull this off. See, even with that little bit that I put on there, I'm still getting some off. So this jar is 8 ounces. Nope, sorry, 3 ounces. 8 ounces would have been a lot. 3 ounces of chalk paste goes a long way. It lasts you quite a while. Oops. Okay, that's a good learning experience too. I went off the transfer just a little bit, but I'll show you guys how to fix that. If you're using inks, one of the things to prevent that is to tape it off. I think you guys have seen me use purple tape before. If you haven't, it's kind of like painter's tape, but it's kind of a crafter's tape and it's reusable. And if you're using a big transfer or something that you don't want to mess up, you would tape the edge of it, and that way, you know, if you got messy like I did, you would still be okay. But like I said, this comes off with water. Oh, look how cute that is. Look. Isn't that cool, you guys? Look at that. How exciting.
Angela says hi.
Hi, Angela. So glad you could make it while we were still live. See my little oopsie there? So that's really super easy. I have this wet wipe here, and all I'm going to do is go like this. See? It's a little wet. And fixed. I'm just going to hit this with the hairdryer real quick. If you wanted to get really ambitious, you could have even overlapped these and done 3 clouds, or you could have done 2 clouds down here. You could just make it your own, whatever you want to do. Now, if I was using the same color, I could have just picked up that transfer and moved it over to a different spot. And, you know, as long as I did it right away, I could keep using that transfer. If I wanted a different color, I'd have to wash it and dry it and start over. But how fun is that? Look at that, guys. So, you know, just a little chalk paste and a transfer that you can reuse multiple times, and one surface. And these Grayson boards are very affordable. You can make gifts for your friends, for your family. That's so fun. Okay, so that's our first project. And, you know, other than me taking the time to explain to you guys, that went pretty quick. So you could crank quite a few of those out. Make sure I get my chalk paste closed up here. Excuse me, I need a drink. All right. Now we get to move on to one that's for Halloween. See our wicked cat right there? He's a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm going to be Winifred Sanderson for Halloween. So I'm really excited about having decor around my house that's witch related. I think the black cat will be a lot of fun. I have some more Halloween transfer projects coming for you guys, as well as some other projects that aren't chalk couture. So please make sure that you're following my page and that you have our live notifications turned on. We really appreciate that. You guys watching and sharing. Okay. Now these box boards don't have any hardware on them, so I don't have to really worry about that. One thing that I did do though is I did wax this board, and Chalk Couture sells these. They look like little chapstick containers. I guess I could turn that around for you. It's just a little tube of wax, and that's what I use to wax this board. You could also use any finishing wax, so like a Minwax finishing wax, or they have finishing wax in a lot of the craft departments. And the reason I did that is because this surface right here is actually wood. So those little fibers can peel up and they can stick to the back of your transfer. So if you wax it, then that helps protect your transfer. And they do say that most all of the Chalk Couture surfaces come, you know, ready to chalk on, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't hurt to just have that little extra security. if you were to buy any boards, definitely any wood boards that were not, you know, chalkature, or you were just going to chalk on wood itself, you definitely want to wax that first. Because otherwise those fibers are going to stick and it's going to cut the life of your transfer. Alright, let's get our little cat made. Is everybody excited about fall and the holidays?
I know I am.
Nesto is. We love the holidays at our house. We love decorating, being with family, dressing up for Halloween. This is our transfer. I'd love to hear about any crafting projects that you guys have going on for the holiday months. Do you have anything planned that you're excited about making? In here. Put our little guy in here. I think I got that pretty even. Ha, look at that. Ooh.
It's pretty neat.
How neat is that? Okay, so I see some bubbles here. Yeah, I waxed that really good. It's not wanting to stick at all. I did rub the wax on there and then I buffed it off. Maybe not good enough.
Bev is looking forward to Christmas ornaments.
Yes, Christmas ornaments are so fun, aren't they? So we kind of started a tradition last year of getting together. My mom and my aunt, my sister, and my cousin. And my cousin's little baby girl, Maddie. And we get together and do ornaments together. And my mom's done ornaments almost every year for a really long time. So that's a lot of fun. Okay, I did open this black. I took the foil off because I didn't want to deal with that mess on live. But I did not stir it up, so I still need to do that. Sorry about the shaking. I like to rest my arm on my table and then I forget that you guys go on that ride with me when I do that. I try to be mindful of that. Alright, we're almost done with our 2 projects and it didn't even take us that long. Isn't that great? Okay. Now, your paste can dry in your transfer, so, you know, most of the time you want to work rather quick. If you're just using one color, it's not really something that you need to worry too much about because it's really fast to just spread this on. Now, if you're doing a bunch of different colors in one area, that's where you might want to be a little bit more mindful of how long it's taking you to get that paste off. And this might, if I didn't have so much room on the edges, this might have been somewhere I would have wanted to put some tape on the edge, but I'm just going to be careful. And also, you know, I can use my board eraser and try to get off if I got some on the board, but these box boards are not reusable. So this would not be a surface where you'd be able to wipe it off with water and reuse it. Actually, I think my sponsor Jess, she tried it once and she was able to get most of it off. She had a little bit of a ghost that even the board eraser wouldn't get off, but when she re-chalked over it, it wasn't that bad. So, you know, it's possible, but it's not recommended. it doesn't wipe off. It's not as porous, or it's more porous, I guess I should say, than the chalkboard. Okay, ready for our peel and reveal. This is my favorite part, guys. This is so exciting. And this one is a little bit more distressed, so you'll see areas where the chalk paste didn't quite go through. Look at that. Oh, look at those eyes. How fun. I see all those white spots on him. Those are areas that are kind of distressed a little bit. I want to be careful when I pull this up because I don't want to knock it into my board. I'm running out of table edges to stick my transfers. Okay. What do you think of that?
That's pretty awesome.
That's neat, isn't it? I'm not sure, these little pieces here, I guess those are meant to be there. It's supposed to look like that, I guess. There was a hole in the transfer there, so. And you might be able to see a spot. There's like a line right here. That's probably where I should have gotten a little bit, you know, with the squeeze. It's a squeegee line, basically. There was a little extra paste right there, and I should have squeezed a little bit more and got the excess off. But it's really hard to see on camera, and it's really not that noticeable at a certain angle. So I think once it dries, it's not going to be bad at all. That black is just, it's really black. Okay. This is so fun. Look at that. That's so cool. What do you guys think? Let me hit this with the dryer real quick. Didn't take hardly any time to dry at all. It was glossy, and you can see it's more of a matte color. There's still little splotches that are still wet, but overall, you know, it dried really quickly. So there's our black wicked cat for Halloween. So we made 2 projects, you know, pretty quickly. And if you were doing that yourself and weren't talking and explaining as you went along, you know, that'd be really great. You could have a home decor piece for you and a gift for somebody, you know, in a matter of 20 minutes, probably a half hour at the most. But I'd love to know what you think. Give me a comment, give me some hearts and some thumbs up, and I really appreciate you guys watching, whether you're watching live or if you catch it on the replay. Thank you very much for supporting me and supporting my page, and I'd love it if you like and share my video. I hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you soon. Keep crafting. Bye, guys.